everybody, it's me, Ocean Man ASMR, and I'm back, finally. I know I took quite a bit of a break. I believe it's been 8 or 9 days now since I last uploaded, but I thought I would hop on here. I missed doing these. I just haven't had the time to do it. I've been so busy, and that's kind of what led me to making this video, which is talking about college. I'm going to talk about community college and university. So like your regular 4-year university. So I I left high school and I moved to a different part of my state to go to community college. I'll just say California. I moved from a part of California to go to community college in the Southern California area because my friends were all moving and they all moved out of state to college, and I was like, okay, I wanna join them, but I can't afford to go straight to a 4-year. So I decided to go to a community college. I moved in with my grandma, and I lived there for 2 years, and I worked. I went to school. I worked too. I'll get to that, but I went to school at community college, and community college it's definitely interesting. You're gonna meet a lot of people and a lot of different people. I've met one of my first classes. A lady had 4 kids. 16, 17, like around that age, all of them around that age, which is crazy to me because that was my age. Like at the time I was 18, so it was just crazy to me. Like she's getting an education, and her kids are going to get a college education soon as well, and I'm also getting an education. So it's kind of like life, it's unexpected what's gonna happen. And I thought it was just great how her husband was supporting her, and she was doing that and taking care of her kids. It's just crazy. These stories just you go straight from high school to community college. It's obviously I was with kids that were my age, 18 to 22-year-olds, but there were some older people, which just shocked me. And you meet kids I met a lot of military. There's a lot of military guys there. Sorry about the noise. I hate those people. But anyway, military guys. Some guys served in Iraq. Some guys served in Afghanistan. They did tours in Afghanistan. Some of them were young. A lot of them were younger guys, but they tell you stories about what they did overseas, and you just meet a whole bunch of people, and that's kind of what college is about, is meeting new people. Did I think I was gonna meet people much older than me? No. Was it hard to build connections with them? Yes, it was, because I would just see them in the class, and then once the semester was over, that was it. Which was typical stuff, but the age dynamic is very, very different. It's just so many people. When I graduated, there was a 70-year-old that was graduating. So community college, anyone can go there. Anyone can go to a 4-year, but I feel once you're a little bit older, you probably wouldn't go to a 4-year or pay that much money for a 4-year versus community college, where it's a lot cheaper. Mine was free because financial aid covered my tuition or my books, and but community college is definitely interesting. The first day, it's what's your name? I have 4 kids. It's a reality check. But definitely a learning experience to learn from those. Learned a lot of great skills from those people. What to do, what not to do, what to look for when you're looking at a job, what to avoid. Also, friends. A lot of people look at the I ended up meeting, at the time, a good friend. I'm no longer his friend, but I met him, and it's all about networking. So from him, I networked, and I met these two girls, and then I met one of their sisters, and I started dating one of their sisters. And you just kind of network, and you meet very, very amount of people, and you meet some great people if you network. So that's kind of what the main is. This is networking, which you got to put yourself out there. It's very uncomfortable, and I'm gonna be corny, and then I'm gonna use a quote that everyone's probably heard, and it's you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I learned that in baseball. I mean, I knew that before, but in baseball, that was where I got taught that message, because you're out there. Like, I played outfield, so you're vulnerable out there in the outfield. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, especially in the batter's box. You don't know what pitch is coming at you. Just like you don't know what material is coming at you in college. You gotta just, and expect the unexpected is another thing. Like, you don't know how your grades are gonna go. You don't know who you're gonna meet. You don't know, what your teachers are gonna be like. I mean, now you have Rate My Professor. But even then, a lot of the people on there are just people that kind of failed the class. They're like, I'm gonna write a bad review. Some of them are good, which I've done a couple of those, but also random. But I have a jar of peanut butter, and I'm gonna tap on it. But yeah, just like who you meet, networking is very, very huge. Like, I know people from my community college that I'd still talk to this day. In fact, I go to school with one of them, and he's an awesome guy. He's one of my best friends now. It's just networking. Like, my brother networked and met people, and I networked and met people, and some of them will be around to the very end, hopefully. But yeah, networking. Another thing is getting a job. Highly recommend getting a job. I didn't get a job until my second semester, but out of community college, I didn't have to really pay that much in tuition, so I got to keep most of my paycheck, which is nice. But I didn't save it, so when I came to 4-year, I barely had anything, and I mean, I had financial aid and scholarship, so that helped a lot. But I was still like have to find ways to pay for college. But yeah, definitely getting a job in college is awesome. It's a good experience. It sucks working sometimes. Like, I worked in retail. Oh my god, like the horror. I can tell you the horror stories of retail. But yeah, I definitely think getting a job in college is essential, because not only are you getting money, but you're also getting valuable skills that can help you when you finally go into your actual profession that you want to do post-college. So I think community college is a great place to do that, because you have so much free time. 4-year university, you can have one. It's a little bit more difficult because classes and then social life as well. Yeah, I have to balance social life, work, and school, because I have an internship right now. I also like to go out, and I also have to work on my studies right now to pass. So definitely like a learning experience, like a curve for someone just watching me do ASMR, but whatever. Definitely a great experience to work and get those skills. But community college is definitely helpful if you're looking to save money, save tons of money. I'm not going to be in debt as much as people are. Will I be? Because I plan on getting a master's. Yes, but I'll be a lot cheaper than if I went into 2 years, because the same stuff you learn out of community college for those first 2 years, maybe even 3, depends how long you stay, is the same stuff that the freshmen and sophomores out of 4-year are taking versus you as a freshman and sophomore at community college. You're learning the same stuff. 4 years just paying a lot more. You're paying a lot less. So it definitely helped me. However, the downside is when you do finally transfer to a 4-year, people have their friend groups already. It's a little more difficult to kind of weld your way into the circles. It's tough. I transferred in. I didn't rush a fraternity. That's not my scene. I don't think I would have rushed even if I was I probably would if I was a freshman, but it's really not my scene, fraternity life. Like, it's not something I want to be, like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, like, oh, I was like, just a fraternity, which, if you're in a fraternity, good for you. It looks like a fun time, but where I go to school, it's a lot more challenging, I guess, and it's a lot more, like, held to a higher standard, and I don't know, I know people, so I can go out, and also, fraternities cost so much money, depending on where you go. At least here, it costs so much money just to basically lose your dignity for some friends. I don't know. See, like, there's a difference of opinion on fraternities. It just, I don't know. I don't want to, like, play it down. If you're in a fraternity and you enjoy it, good for you. If you're not, good for you too. You're like me. You're a G. You go out when you can. Like St. Patrick's Day is coming up. I think some of my frat friends are doing stuff, and I'm going out. So, do I have to pay money to go? Nope. So it's kind of nice. But fraternity and sorority, depending on where you go to school, if you're if you're a freshman and sophomore, it's the best time to do it. Junior and senior year, probably wouldn't rush unless if you're already in it, you can stay in. But I probably, just depends. Honestly, it depends. I personally, I think junior and senior year, you can do both. You can internship and be like in a frat. But I feel like versus freshman and sophomore, you have so much more time in your freshman and sophomore year, where your junior and senior year, you're getting close to graduating. You have to lock in internships, jobs, all that stuff. So definitely, I think, depending on who you are, like, knowing yourself, it'll depend on how your, like, experience goes. And I'm gonna just transition sort of into the 4-year now and move on from community college. Community college is great. I think I already said that, but I highly recommend it. If you're on the fence, you're like, if your friends are saying something, if your parents are saying something, like, oh, community college is this and this and this, just go to community college if you feel like it. It'll save you money, and you'll gain a lot from it. And if you want to go to 4-year, you can go ahead and do that as well. It's gonna be awesome to go to a 4-year. But now moving into 4 years as a transfer, I gotta say it's tough being a transfer student. Like I mentioned, everyone's in not cliques, but groups already. Like, they know their friends already. When I transferred in, I'm in a dorm, and dorming's nice. As a freshman, not really. It's nice. It's sort of nice. It's hard because it's not as, like, the floor that I'm on, and I've talked to other transfer students as well. The floor that they're on, it's not very social. Whereas the freshman dorms, sophomore dorms, a lot more social. Especially sophomore dorms, because you know people. Freshman dorms too, you're gonna meet people. So I would definitely say transferring sucks in that regard, making friends. However, it doesn't stop you. I put myself out there. I've met tons of friends now. I've made connections, close connections, and so that's another thing that it does, is it challenges you to push you to do more than just the bare minimum. Like, if you want to have a good time at university, when there's a will, there's a way. So join clubs, do intramurals, go to sporting events. Sporting events are the best. Like, I've met random guys and girls at sporting events. Just talk to them, just strike up a conversation with them, like, oh, like, you're cheering on the team, clubs, film. I'm in a film society club. I've met some, actually I haven't been to a meeting. I just get the free tickets to go to movies and dip. But intramurals, I met a great group of people in intramurals, and I see them around campus time to time. I talk to some of them more than others, but intramurals is a great place because you meet people on your team, and you get to meet people on other teams, and you can have funny stories back and forth to look back on, and it's a great time. So yeah, definitely gotta, if you're a transfer, put yourself out there. If you're a freshman, sophomore, I can't speak on that because I wasn't here for that, but I've heard, I bring it up again, fraternity, sorority life, get out there. Dorm life, so much better. As a transfer student, you're more on your own. They don't really check in on you. As a freshman and sophomore, you're kind of handed stuff more, I feel like they'll take care of you, there'll be events for you and all that stuff, just to get you acclimated. But for transfers, they didn't really do any of that for us, which sucked, but it was fine because I met people anyways. But yeah, so that's about 4 year, and work at a 4 year is a lot, especially a junior and senior year, or going to be my senior year, but my junior year now is a lot more work. They're not as babying, and you have to really be on your stuff. I keep forgetting about tapping, but the food, it's college. Screw it. Another place, the gym. The gym is a great place to meet people. You might be like, well, like in between sets, like, can I work in with you? Yeah, I mean, unless you're grumpy, unless you're a Debbie Downer, and you're like, nah. But people might be like, can I work in with you? And yeah, they'll want to, chit chat back and forth, or like even walking back from the gym, and you can meet people like at the gym. I've met a couple guys in the gym just because we wanted to work in together. Like gym, another thing about they take care of yourself in college. You're a lot more independent, so eating right. I try to eat right. I'm actually trying to gain calories, but yeah, the gym is awesome. Internships. I'm gonna circle back to internships. I just got an internship for the football program where I'm football operations management, and I'm excited. There's so many internship opportunities, like at any school you go to, and they're gonna be the best, especially for your resume. It'll look great on your resume. Like, I'd rather have an internship, an unpaid internship, than a paid job that I hate. Like, I was gonna work at this acai bowl place. I would have hated it. Instead, I got an internship in the football, and it could be something that I do as an actual profession or on the side, So just opportunities like that, it's not about money, it's about experience and learning. Lastly, I'm going to talk about scholarships. So important. I've learned that schools have so much money that they want to throw at students, but students don't take the opportunity to fill out the forms for scholarships, and it just sits there and it goes to waste. I don't know if it goes to waste, but it just doesn't go out to anybody. So I highly recommend scholarships. It'll save you so much in the long run, and schools want to give it away. So what you put in is what you're gonna get. It's kind of like baking. If you put the right ingredients in, it's gonna come out like a perfect muffin. If you forgot milk, it might be a little bit runny. It'll be kind of leaky. It'll be done, but it won't be the best, So it's like, what you put in is what you're gonna get. So I'm gonna end the video here. So I hope you guys take away something from this. I'm gonna try to be more consistent. I know. I said last video I was going to be, but I've just been busy. Internships, work, all social. It's just, I'm gonna try to be more consistent and record videos in advance. Hopefully some role plays will come along too. I just got some new gear, so yeah, that's gonna be it. And I hope you all have a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night.